Hello everyone, welcome to Super English Grammar. Please take pen and paper and note down all the 20 American English phrases and expressions if you really want to speak like Americans. Each and every phrase and expression taught in this video lecture is very important to use in everyday English conversation if anyone wants to speak like American speakers of English. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Number one, you can say that again. When you hear Americans saying, you can say that again, after someone makes a statement, they mean that they strongly agree with them. Example, person A, it's really hot today. And person B, yes, you can say that again. Thus, the expression, you can say that again, means that's true. I strongly agree with you. Number two, speak of the devil. Let's suppose you two friends were talking about John. What happens suddenly is that during the conversation, John appears unexpectedly. It's the situation when you'll use the phrase speak of the devil. Example, did you hear about John? Speak of the devil, he is here. Thus, the phrase speak of the devil is used when a person who is being talked of appears suddenly during the conversation. Number three, so far so good. You have started a project recently. The project is going well without any problems up to the present time. Now someone asks you of how the project is going. Here you'll use the phrase so far so good. Example, John, how's your project going? So far so good, Jack. Thus the phrase so far so good means that some work or task that you have recently started is going on well without any problems. Number four, pull yourself together. Let's say, John, your younger brother, takes your phone and drops it into water. As a result, you become agitated and angry. Your friend then says to you, pull yourself together, Jack. John is your own brother. What your friend wants to say is that you take control of your feelings, anger. Thus, pull yourself together means calm down. Number five, on the ball. When players are keeping the eyes on the ball, they are alert and focused. Similarly, when you say to someone, be on the ball, you mean that they should be alert, focused, and aware of what's happening around them so that they can quickly react to that situation. Example, your enemy can attack you anytime. Be on the ball. Thus, the phrase be on the ball means be alert and focused. Number six, go back to the drawing board. Your friend John follows a particular strategy for achieving some goal. What happens is that his effort and plan both fail. He then says, I must go back to the drawing board. What he means is that he must start all over again and make a new start because the previous plan failed. Number seven, get out of hand. Let's suppose your son no longer listens to you and no longer does as you say. Here, your son has gotten out of hand, which means that you no longer have control over your son. That is, he doesn't listen to you. Similarly, a situation can get out of hand. Thus, the phrase to get out of hand means to get out of control. Number eight, bite the bullet. Your teacher gives you a lengthy assignment to complete within a week. On your side, you don't like to do assignments. Now you can say, I hate doing assignments, but still I'll have to bite the bullet. Here, what you want to say is that you have to do this unpleasant and difficult task although you want to avoid doing it. Thus the phrase, to bite the bullet is used when you have to do some unpleasant task, although you want to avoid it. Number 9. Better late than never. Let's assume you gave $1,000 to your friend. For some reason, your friend returns it to you very late. This is when you'll use the phrase better late than never. Example, John finally returns the money he took from me after 1 year. Well, better late than never. Thus the phrase better late than never means it's better to do something late than not doing it at all. Number 10. A dime a dozen. You are a shopkeeper. You sell books on different subjects. What happens is that a customer comes and asks about the price of one of the books available on your shop. After you tell him the price, he says, "Sorry, it's very expensive. Books like this are a dime a dozen." What he means here is that books like this are common and of little value. So the phrase a dime a dozen means something easily obtained and of little value. Number 11. A blessing in disguise. Your friend John had a high-paying job. For some reason, he then lost that job. Afterwards, he succeeds in finding another job that pays higher than the previous one. Now, he says, losing the first job was really a blessing in disguise. Here, what he means is that losing the first job seemed bad to him at first, but later it resulted in a higher paying job. So it's a blessing in disguise. Number 12. A perfect storm. John doesn't complete his assignment and stays away from his school, which results in the cancellation of his admission. Here, what happens is that not completing the assignment creates a perfect storm for John. Thus, the phrase, a perfect storm, is an extremely bad situation in which many bad things happen at the same moment, creating the worst situation at last. Number 13. A picture is worth 1,000 words. When you hear Americans say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, they mean that it's better to show practically than tell theoretically, or an image can describe what a description in 1,000 words can, or it's used to say that it's often easier to show something in a picture than to describe it with words. Number 14. Add insult to injury. The government introduces new education policy which lays down that only 2 hours will be given to students to write and submit the answer sheet. Moreover, the policy states that the exam pattern will be of the same length. The students then criticize the policy and say the government reduced the answer writing time from 3 to 2 hours, and to add insult to injury, it is stated that the paper would be of the same length. Thus the phrase to add insult to injury means to make a bad situation even worse. Number 15. Birds of a feather flock together. The proverb, birds of a feather flock together, means people of same sorts and interests are found together. Here, birds metaphorically refers to people and feather refers to interests. Number 16. Comparing apples with oranges. John compares the job of a servant with that of a teacher. In this situation, you can say, John, you are comparing apples with oranges. Thus, comparing apples and or with or to oranges means to compare two items that are very different in nature. Number 17. Do something at the drop of a hat. Let's say you are not habituated of speaking in public, while your friend Jack grabs the opportunity of speaking in public immediately. Your friend John then says to you, you hate to speak in public. but your friend Jack is always ready to get on stage at the drop of a hat. Thus, if you do something at the drop of a hat, you do it immediately without stopping to think about it. Number 18. Put all one's eggs in one basket. John applies for several jobs. You then ask him why he does so. As a response to your question, he says, "Because I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket." Thus, the phrase, "put all eggs in one basket," means to depend for one's success on a single person or plan of action. Number 19. Every cloud has a silver lining. The proverb, "every cloud has a silver lining," means that there is always a positive side of a difficult or unpleasant situation, even though it's not apparent. Number 20. Give them a taste of their own medicine. If you give someone a taste of their own medicine, you do the same bad thing to them that they have done to you. Example, it's not bad that you give John a taste of his own medicine.